It's official. Canada has a new finance minister. Chrystia Freeland has formally taken on the role after Bill Morneau's sudden resignation. She's the first woman in Canadian history to occupy this powerful position. Good evening and thank you for joining us. Morneau's departure less than 24 hours ago has set off a series of fast-moving events in Ottawa. From the cabinet change-up to the move by Prime Minister Justin Trudeau to prorogue Parliament until late September. Trudeau says his government wants to lay out a long-term pandemic recovery plan, and they plan to do that in a speech from the throne.
The throne speech will give us the opportunity to lay out in detail our approach going forward. It will also allow Parliament to hold a confidence vote on this new plan.
There's a lot to cover tonight, from the strategy around that confidence vote and how the opposition is reacting to what a pause in Parliament means for the ongoing We Charity investigations. Our coverage begins with our chief political correspondent, David Akin, on the choice of Freeland as Finance Minister.
I, Chrystia Freeland.
And with that, Toronto MP Chrystia Freeland became the Finance Minister, adding that title to another one she already holds, Deputy Prime Minister. It's been nearly 20 years since any cabinet minister held those two positions simultaneously. But Freeland's admirers say she is eminently qualified for the jobs, earning a reputation over the last 5 years as a cabinet minister who gets things done. Most notably leading the successful negotiations of the new NAFTA. Now, as the Deputy PM/Finance Minister, she's promising a transformative economic recovery.
I think all Canadians understand that the restart of our economy needs to be green. It also needs to be equitable.
Details on that transformation will come in a speech from the throne to be delivered September 23rd. Until then, Parliament is prorogued, suspended.
We need to reset the approach of this government for a recovery, to build back better.
But opposition politicians say the switch to Freeland from the resigning Bill Morneau, combined with proroguing Parliament, is a cynical attempt by the PM to turn the channel on Trudeau's perceived ethical failings in the We Charity matter.
It seems like the Liberal government's more interested in throwing the Finance Minister under the bus than the Prime Minister taking responsibility for his own breaches of the conflict of interest laws.
In a statement, Andrew Scheer said, Justin Trudeau is walking out on Canadians in the middle of a major health and economic crisis in a disgusting attempt to make Canadians forget about his corruption. Now, Scheer is going to be replaced at the end of the week by the winner of the Conservative leadership race. That race wraps up on Sunday. And it will be up to that new leader, along with the leaders of the NDP and the Bloc Québécois, to decide if they want to vote non-confidence after that throne speech, and that would force a fall election. As for Trudeau, he's counting on that confidence vote, and he expects to win it. Robin.
David Akin in Ottawa. Thanks, David. For more on the Prime Minister's strategy in proroguing Parliament, let's bring in our Ottawa Bureau Chief Mercedes Stephenson. Mercedes, why would Trudeau open himself up to a confidence vote?
Well, he almost seemed to be daring the opposition, didn't he, Robin? And it felt like we were right back into last fall, out on the campaign trail. That was very much a campaign-style speech. He's not talking about small changes. He is using the term transformative change, strategic vision, huge changes to the Canadian economy and the way that the Liberal government governs. All of those things signaling that he's moving to the left with some of these policies. And that means he's probably quite safe, because it means negotiations with the NDP. There was hints at more green care and green economy. Child care seemed to be being hinted at repeatedly by both Freeland and Trudeau. And those are things that the NDP has said they want in the Greens. And as long as they have those two parties, they can stay in power.
Mercedes, it's clear Trudeau is trying to turn the page on the We controversy. What does proroguing Parliament mean for those ongoing investigations?
Well, it will shut those investigations down. The committees will no longer be meeting to question people, question witnesses, but there will still be documents. I asked Prime Minister Trudeau about that, and he said the 5,000 pages that we're all waiting to see that reveal how these decisions about We were made have been released and will be eventually available once the committee has dug through them. But it certainly puts the heat that is on the government on pause, and all of this has what has led us to this point, including Bill Morneau's departure.
The Prime Minister offered few details when asked about Bill Morneau's departure today. What more are you hearing about the lead-up to his resignation?
Well, Robin, we haven't heard any more about why Bill Morneau resigned, but people aren't buying the line that the finance minister suddenly had a revelation mid-pandemic and mid-economic crisis as this government finds its way forward. We do know that Chrystia Freeland has said that she is confident in her ability to say no to the Prime Minister and not afraid to do so, and has done so before. But he needed somebody who was willing to go forward with a new and very different agenda than that of Bill Morneau's. And you can see that in the kind of policies that they're already talking about.
Mercedes Stephenson in Ottawa. Thanks, Mercedes.